Ciao Juventini of the world. My name is Giuseppe. Welcome back on the channel. We have a new coach. Luciano Spalletti has been officially announced by Juventus Football Club, and this will be the huge big topic of today's stream, Luciano Spalletti Day. What to expect? What is Frederic expecting from Luciano? What is Zach expecting from Luciano? What is Master Gaming expecting from Luciano? What is Mas Mif 3B expecting from Luciano? What is Saraz? What is Mauri? What is Ivan? What is Sasha expecting from the new coach, the oldest ever coach to sit on the bench of the Bianconeri, expecting from Luciano Spalletti? We'll speak about that, a bit about the 3-1 because I'm still furious about something. And then we go towards the future. Today we open a new era. You can follow us here every Thursday, normally at 10 p.m. Italian time. But today we started a bit later because we had to make sure that our hair was respecting the new coach, Luciano Spalletti. So 30 minutes later. But we always start at 10 p.m. You can watch us also on replay here. And then from a bit later, a few hours later, you can listen to us on Turin Giants podcast on Spotify and on Apple Podcast. You can hear us on all the podcast version. And of course, don't forget, as I always say, to give a huge support to Turin Giants also on their YouTube channel where they cover much more. And you can listen to them with all their fantastic takes. Buongiorno, Zach. How are you doing?
Beppe, I'm doing great, but I know you were running around a lot today. I'm more curious of, is everything okay with you?
Depends on you guys. I don't know if the people will get the reference or not in the chat, but I'm sure that Frederic and Zach already know if I saw their reaction. So for the people that are listening and not watching, I see that Sasha already got it. You need to go and watch, of course, the 3 minutes 20 video of the intro of Spalletti at Juve. We will speak about that because Zach and Fred told me, Beppe, we watched the video and we have a lot of things to say about these streamers. Buongiorno, Frederic, how are you doing?
Good evening. I'm doing very well. I don't know if you noticed, but I've been quite positive lately since I knew about Spalletti.
It's his birthday. Of course he's doing
well.
Also. Voila.
Yes.
That's what I wanted also to introduce to all the people in the chat. Maximum of happy birthday to Frederic today. It's his birthday, and he did actually something fantastic. He said, Beppe, I cancel all my plans because I want to be here together with you, Juventini, to speak about Luciano Spalletti. For the people that are watching and say, Beppe, what will you tell? We already know everything. I promise you, I'm not joking. On that new iPhone, today was hot, because I received so many messages, and some of them, we have some behind the scenes that nobody knows yet. Maybe Frederic, maybe Zach, no, I don't know. But the messages that I have here for the behind the scenes of Luciano Spalletti, my friends, you will go crazy because there is one player that he wants to bet on, that he wants to start immediately on, and even before the game of Udinese. Later, we will do a quiz with the chat. I have the name and I have other details. Happy birthday, Frederic, like we hear and read in the chat.
Thank you, chat. Amazing.
You want to say something about your birthday to the chat, Fred?
Not really. I had a fun day. I spent it with my kids and my family. And it was nice because normally I'm always working. And today was the first birthday that I can remember that I had a chill day. I watched some scary movies with my children and my wife, and made plans to come on here. So that was two things that were very important to me today, and I'm glad I can do both of them. So thank you all in chat for the congrats and everything. Very nice.
You're not the only one, because we also have the birthday of JJ. 1897 is also the birthday of JJ. So JJ and Frederic, you are sharing birthdays. Happy birthday to JJ. Where do we start? Because, of course, I will not immediately spoil you and give you the answers of the question. Otherwise, people, they will listen, they will leave. So where do we want to start? We won against Udinese, I would push that a bit away. Spalletti, where do we want to start about this announcement? I show you the picture if I can find it. It was a beautiful picture. I don't know if the picture was beautiful, to be totally honest with you, but we saw that official picture earlier today from Juventus. It was 6:27 when they put that on. Luciano Spalletti è il nuovo allenatore della Juventus. Benvenuto, mister. Luciano Spalletti is the new coach of Juventus. Welcome, mister. I'm not a big fan of that picture. It looked like, at a certain moment, like AI. I don't know what they did with that picture.
A funeral picture.
For certain people, probably, yes.
Yeah.
It's too much black, in my opinion, and he doesn't look. Because I know for a fact, and maybe I'm spoiling things already, but I know for Spalletti this is a big step. This is one of his personal dreams, to coach Juventus, basically. So I know for him it's something that he's now obtained, an objective that he's obtained. So I expected him to be a bit more exuberant, but I think it was also a kind of a strategy. But we'll leave that for later, I think,
No, I
Beppe.
think let's get into it now. I think we let off the show with the little interchange that he had with Perin, and I think dressed in the all black, to me, it was almost like the Grim Reaper of playing time for some folks, and for locker room nonsense. He's not coming in with this, over the summer with this time to kind of have fun with people. It's business time. Juventus has already lost 2 games in the league. We're what, 6th or 7th? It's not about having fun. It's about getting to work, and it's about proving yourself to the players that you belong with this manager. And I think he's coming in with the seriousness and intensity that the situation requires.
Yeah, I also texted my source today, and I asked him, "How was your first Spalletti day?" And he responded first with 3 emojis of a ghost, and I was like, question mark. And I'm going to read it out loud if I may, Bep. I'm not going to translate it in whole, but maybe you can do that for me. Molto bella. Siamo la Juve e a me uno come Spalletti sorridente e splendido all'Allegri avrebbe anche infastidito. Ripeto, non c'è nulla da ridere, da parlare, da scherzare, c'è da stare zitti e lavorare. Forza, mister.
So the message translated in English means I'm doing really well. A smiling Spalletti, a smiling alla Allegri would have annoyed me. Would have annoyed me because at the moment there is nothing to smile about. There is nothing to joke about. There is nothing funny for the moment of Juve. We must work hard. I totally agree with that message. 100%. We saw immediately in that 3 minutes 21, a lot has been said, even if there are not a lot of words. You immediately understand it from how he gets out of the car immediately. You see that it's someone that you don't want to fool with. Um, you give him immediately respect. I always said that it has never been my favorite coach. I'm not speaking about this moment because I think that it's the best man for this moment. But if you would have talked about it 1 week ago, 2 weeks ago, in the beginning of the season, last season, it's a coach that I didn't want. But there is one thing that we cannot deny: how he gets out of that car, the face that he's taking. There is, like the youngsters are saying, there is an aura. There is an aura that is saying immediately, you give me respect. You give me respect because I'm 66, because I have an experience, because I had great moments, I had difficult moments. I went through fantastic moments, but also through hell. I know how to handle a situation. You clearly see that he's aware of the situation, that it's not time to talk, that it's not time to do these open opinions and these let's speak about it and let's do a therapy to no. I decide. You already decided probably too much. Now it's time to stop talking and that one person is taking charge and I am the one in charge. And that you clearly understand it in the first 5 seconds in the video when he gets out of the car. Of course, he's a bit more relaxed when he's saying hello to Giorgio Chiellini. Then he enters the offices and you see, like Fred is saying, that it's a dream for him to coach Juve. And I believe that for a man of his generation, 66, Italian, that has started at the bottom. He did Empoli, he did Udinese, he did so many clubs. He won the Scudetto with Napoli. He did Inter, he did Roma, but Juve is Juve. Juve is Juve. It's not because I'm a Juventino, but in Italy, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but in Italy, there is absolutely nothing for a football professional, let's say, not only the players, nothing bigger than Juve still at today. I know that a lot of people are joking with Manchester United, and Manchester United still have that aura. Of course, it's a long time that they don't win, but Manchester United has a huge, big aura. Juventus has a big, huge aura. But now, Spalletti, that knows Juventus since he's a player, since he's a kid, since he's born in Italy, he wants not to bring Juve to trophies, to that, to that. He wants to rebuild Juventus. And that's his vision, that's his mission. You understand it. And then he goes towards a Perin, who wants to guide us through the Perin situation. Because I watched it 6 times.
Same.
Frederic, do it.
Well, it basically, I think it was planned because I think Perin was there for fitting, or at least that's what my source says. They were fitting the winter outfits from the sponsor. A lot of the team players had already left. The ones that were still in rehabilitation, like Bremer and Cabal, which you saw in the video, were still there. But a couple of guys needed to stay there to fit the Armani winter line. And that's why they spoke about the jacket and the sweater, and it made absolutely no sense in the video, but it was to highlight that jacket, that sweater, Armani, without saying Armani and whatever. And then it went to a normal conversation, and well, Perin asks, "How are you doing?" And you would expect the normal, the very usual, "Fine, how are you?" But Spalletti is very, I wouldn't say nervous, but he lets silence fill in for a bit, goes back and forth with body language, which is very important in that regard, his body language.
Here.
Yeah, there. That is a man who says, I heard about a lot of things I don't agree with. Playtime's over. For me. For me. And after the silence, he said, after the question, "How are you?" He responds with, "That will depend on you." And the thing that people may have not noticed afterwards, I think it was Perin who said, "Well, we're at your disposal," and he said, "Well, that's something," meaning like, am I supposed to be impressed now, or you should be? This is the first thing you need to do. So, and you see Perin there. I posted. I'm gonna, I'm gonna post a picture in our Beppe chat. I don't know if I posted it in Beppe's chat already. I know I did in the Turin Giants one, but I think the nightmares that Perin will have tonight will be the following. I think he'll see
I'm
Spalletti like
already
this.
seeing it. So I will save it and I will share it here on screen in a second. Uh, Zach, you want to talk us through what you identified in that video? Because I saw the same things as Fred. I saw even more in that sequence, in that moment. I will tell you in a second.
I want to kind of reiterate exactly what I said before, because when I was thinking about when Frederic and you were talking about with all the black and the kind of awkward photo, I really treated it like he is trying to present himself like this interaction with Perin as the sort of the grim reaper of nonsense. It's gone. Oh my god, the picture. It's gone. And I think the way he carried himself, the way he took a second, because it looked like he was going to respond in that second, then he paused he did the he kind of thought about it. He did his little sway back and forth, and then he made the sort of a very pointed and intentional remark. And I think that's striking you as struck me as a guy who understands fully the seriousness of the consequence of the circumstances in which he stepped. So that really stood out to me a lot, and I think that it's the way he's going to carry himself with the players, not one of, hey, I'm going to be your friend, let's get back to football fun times. No, this is Juventus. You're better than this, and I'm going to demand more from you.
If we go back to the video, I already started in that sequence. Here, look, he's taking the hand of Perin, and he's not leaving his hand. Look, he's leading. Perin is blocked. He cannot go anywhere because you can clearly see that strength in that hand to say, I'm the boss here. Show me your jacket. Like a little kid, show me your jacket. Show me the material. Turn a bit to see it, how it's fitting. Look, he's keeping his hand. He's not letting him go. It's long, guys. We are speaking about how long? It starts at 1 second exactly. And he keeps his hand until he decides, look, he decides, okay, now you can go. And then he's leaving. 6 seconds long. He's keeping his hand to say, I'm the boss here. I decide that you need to turn. You are already at my disposal without telling him anything. And then he's saying, go away. Ciao. Arrivederci. Then, indeed, what we didn't say is here, because there is, after Perin is asking, how are you doing, mister? Because there is that silence moments where he says nothing, Perin is feeling bad and he wants to fill that void. What is he saying, Perin? At that exact moment, he's saying, piano piano, means not wow. And he interrupts him, he's saying, it depends on you. And that's where we see a Perin with that outfit, like looks like he's about to celebrate his first baptism, like a little kid. There, he has absolutely no look at the position. He's like, he doesn't know anymore. He's lost. In a few words, in a few seconds, because we are speaking about 18, 19, 20 seconds, it's over with Perin. It's over with Perin. He doesn't know what to do. He understands that we are not. Look, this picture is even better. It's over. Game over for Perin. He understands immediately that c'est fini. Guys, I love to analyze all these things because they are incredible.
One other thing that I think is very striking, he kind of gives his hand out to Bremer and Cabal, but with a light hug. But with Perin, because Perin comes running out of the hallway with his hand already forward, he doesn't do that. He keeps him at a distance. So, to my knowledge, Luciano has been briefed about certain issues or aspects within the whole dynamics of the team and the locker room. Maybe I don't know, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I feel like if you're a coach and you hug one player, you hug them all. You start from scratch. You have no favorites because you're on, you have to lay the foundation. If you don't do that, then to me, it seems that you have been briefed about certain situations, certain things, which makes you a bit, how shall I put it, a bit more in a waiting position and a not as trustworthy position and with respect to that player or players. So,
but I mean, he's been around the block. He's been around the block. He's got Perin, 30-something years old. Like, his reputation, whatever that might be, precedes him. Spalletti, it's not like he's just came out from underneath a rock, right? I mean, he's going to come in with and that's kind of one of the bonuses that Frederic, you spoke to, is being familiar with Italian football. He knows a lot of these players. Not having coached them, but he knows them. Oh, yeah.
Haji saying if he hugs Cope, we are finished.
Or getting started if he hugs Cope. Maybe.
Or we start. It would be time that we start.
One could only hope.
Yeah, guys, maybe it's time because I told you I have the phone was warm. Luckily, they put a condensator in the newer system. Luckily, a cooler because it was warm. So maybe we can start with the first question from the person that told me before the Udinese game, and I'm sure that some people also in the chat will be extremely happy. Before the Udinese game, Spalletti said something to Giorgio Chiellini. And he said, wait, I will try to find the exact sentence. Where is it? I have a few things. Before the Udinese game, I'm betting on this player. Chat. And also Fred and Zach. Try to guess.
I think I
Can we
know.
get any hints, Pepe? Is it someone who's not playing regularly right now, or is it just something we have the whole squad to choose from?
You can choose the whole squad. It's a player with hair. Hey. Bremer, Openda, Cambiaso, Thuram, Koopmeiners, Weston McKennie, Ciao Kelly.
Does that mean it's not Gatti?
No.
David, Big Mac,
No.
Cambiaso, Milik, Kelly, Aziz, Shuko, Weston, Vlahovic, Weston, Openda, Locatelli, David, Dusan, Miretti, Bremer. Guys, go guess. Miretti.
For me, it's Adzic.
Zach?
Well, since he said Adjic, I was kind of going thinking bench player. I'll do the other midfielder and say Moretti.
He probably bets on a lot of players, but there is
I hope
one
so.
name.
Roughly
There is
11
one
plus.
name with a lot of conviction that he went really strong. And he said to Chiellini, I'm betting to that player before the Udinese game. And the name is Dusan Vlahovic. Then I don't know if he said about Adic or whatever. I think that for Adic, he wants to see him. But Dusan Vlahovic. And guys, that Dusan is not my favorite player. Spalletti is not my favorite player. So I would not be here just to tell you Dusan. I would go for a lot of players because I said even McKennie in the video of this morning, in the live of this morning. But the name that I heard here is Dusan Vlahovic. And it could be that Dusan Vlahovic, il motorino that he had, that scooter that he was playing with, maybe he heard about it, and maybe Chiellini told him, oh, that the coach, he believes in you, and maybe that gave him that extra power, and maybe also the words, look here how happy he is. You're happy, huh? Because, Aj and me, we always have fight about Dusan Vlahovic, but maybe that motivated him extra more to do well against Udinese because he played objectively a really great game, even if there were a few misses. Are you surprised or not, Zach and Fred?
I'm not surprised, but I'm disappointed. Every coach comes in and says, we're going to rely on Dusan. That's the first name. Allegri version round 2. We need to get Dusan Vlahovic. We're going to rely on him. He's going to be our talisman in a post-Ronaldo era. You get Mozza. We don't need any other strikers on this team. We're going to trust Dusan Vlahovic. Tudor very publicly said, even though we had Colomwani, who was in a good moment, I have faith in Dusan Vlahovic. And what happens every single time? He maybe play one good game, scores maybe a goal here, and then inevitably falls flat, like he has much of this season before yesterday, and he gets replaced. I realize this is a contract year, so maybe he'll have that Rabiot effect, where he'll be a god the rest of the season, which I will welcome with open arms. But his track record and what coaches say about him is replayed itself now, 3 or 4 times? So I'm not buying into that stock at all.
I'm in two minds because I think we never had the opportunity to see the Dusan that we saw in Fiorentina. Whose fault is it? Dusan's fault? Is it the coach's fault? Is it the jersey that weighs a lot more and all these type of things? I'm not sure, but I think we can all agree that we haven't seen the Fiorentina version of Vlahovic yet at Juventus. And I think Spalletti is well aware of potential that Dusan has, and I think he's keen. Maybe he's not betting on it in a sense that if I put him on the field, he'll do his thing. I think what he means to say is that that is a player that I think Spalletti can trigger and revitalize, which would make the team that much better. Because let's be honest, if Dusan puts away 80% of his open chances that he gets, then we're speaking about maybe 10 to 15 points a season that we gain. So we have to keep that in perspective. What I know is that he's a very big fan of Adzic, also because Spalletti's son works in the scouting system for Juventus. Um, I saw Azic play several times in the past, and I think at home, if you have a dad who is a really good coach with a lot of experience, and you as a scout, as the son, see something in a player and you have those videos, I think it's very normal that you ask his opinion about things. So I think that Spalletti had some glimpse of Azic even before he was in the first team of Juventus, and he spoke very highly of him. On the other hand, and I don't know if Pepe knows it, and I don't want to spoil or anything, I know that Spalletti is going to bring down the hammer on certain players who have not been fair towards our club or their colleagues in that respect. That
Wait,
is
wait
something
before
for certain.
before these
But
players. Wait a bit. Uh, I'm curious to hear the names, but wait a bit because I want to say thank you to Deimos that became a new member of the chat. Grazie, Deimos. By the way, members are going well. Subscribers, fantastic. 40,613. So grande. Thank you. Continue to subscribe to the channel to put a maximum of like. And also the people that are now curious because we are speaking about the new coach and we have a lot of things to say. Don't forget. Don't forget, every Thursday, we start usually at 10 p.m. Italian time. Don't forget, because it's every Thursday, probably next Thursday, not, but usually it will be. And then you can hear us also on podcast on the Turin Giants, Spotify, and Apple Podcast. Don't forget, and also to subscribe to Turin Giants that are here every single week with us. Loving that partnership. So, grande Deimos, and also to JJ. Happy birthday again. That is saying Jagrova will be his Kfara. Um,
with or without a wheelchair.
Yeah, dude's got to get better first, man. Jeez.
It's not an easy injury, yeah. Many
No.
people underestimate it, and the gravity of the injury too. Because I spoke about this, I think, the day before yesterday on the Turin Giants podcast, the one we had. It's a very complex injury in the sense that Segrova at this point can go 65% without feeling anything. If he goes above, which is needed in order to perform, especially for him because he's very explosive, if he goes above that percentage, not only does he feel pain, but he has to recuperate for days afterwards because of swelling, because of all the things, all the negative side effects that you have from a pubalgic muscle injury. So, two options: a lot of rest or surgery. It's as simple as that.
he just came from a surgery, so we need to understand at the moment we know it. He has 20 minutes included the injury time, so it's not that he can enter at the 70th. He needs to enter at the 75th, 76th, and that's one game. Not every game at the moment. So let's see how he will evolve. It's not that Tudor didn't want to play him because I heard also these kind of things. It's absolutely not. That's a reality. We also saw it with Kosovo. One day will be better, one day will be worse, but at the moment, no. Between Openda and Jonathan David, because Haj is writing, I worry for David, to be honest. The lack of physicality will hold him back, but David, I like him. I know that Zach is a fan of David. I am not. Between Openda and David, who will have the fastest positive impact? What did you think about the game of Openda against Udinese? speak about these two players because we said apparently that he wants to bet on Dusan, which is also strange, as we know that at the end of the year it will be difficult to keep Dusan. So David Openda.
It depends. It depends who we play. I think that the Openda and the way he was deployed against Udinese, especially with how they played against us, was perfect. Playing off of a central striker, making those runs into the channel where there was space, exactly the kind of thing he did at Leipzig with Šeško kind of occupying that middle space, doing those inside out runs. And I thought it was extremely effective. And I think that's exactly what we would hope to see against teams that will play us with a higher line or maybe more open, because of his speed and his pressing and his just sort of his skill set is perfect for that. The problem is most teams do not leave that much space for us to operate in. And Beppe is motioning that all of us have transferred the hair from the top of our head to our face.
Well, one day I woke up and it was here, guys.
This is how it works, y'all.
You win some, you lose some.
But and David has not been good this year. No, not going to defend his play because there's not much to defend there. But his skill set is going to be much more valuable in against teams that sit deep and compact, because he can find good space in between the lines in the center of the pitch to do interplay with runs coming from the midfield. We saw that in the first 2 games of the season, especially in that Parma game, or at least the potential of it. And I think that if he can get some confidence back, because he seems sorely lacking in it right now, that in those teams that are sitting deep, David will be much more valuable to us than Openda.
Yeah, I agree with Sir Ross. They both come from another kind of league. Give them time to adapt. In the long run, I think the player which will... It depends also, what does Vlahovic do? What does Vlahovic do? Because I feel that David was bought with the intention of being the Dusan replacement, because David is a goal poacher. So you have no choice but to fit him in. But now I'm hearing that there's also a possibility that maybe even if Dusan leaves, that we bring in another striker. Then, you have to sell one of the ones we already have, and you can't sell Openda because Openda is on loan. With a practical, almost an obligation to buy, let's be honest. From what I hear, it's even I think we have to make it to 10th place in order for the contract to be valid, or the renewal to be valid, something like that, which I think we'll manage. But David, we bought him for free, apart from the commission. I think if somebody drops some money on Vlahovic in January and maybe wants to spend on David as well in June, and we can get somebody else in. But there are a lot of variables. Too many variables.
I believe that the Openda can have a fast positive impact with Spalletti. I'm a bit scared for Jonathan David. Yesterday, I know that Openda didn't play a fantastic game, but I enjoyed what I was starting to see in Openda. Some movements, some intensity, some runs. And he was absolutely not perfect. If I need to choose for the worst of the game, he would be there, in the bottom 3. But I saw something yesterday that could give me an idea and attenzione, because I know that when Italy played Belgium, Spalletti, he saw Openda and he voted for the up, not for the down. Attenzione, because Openda, you have a big news. I have a interesting news. I will give both of them. Which one do we start with? The big news or the interesting news? Chat and Fred and Zach.
Bury the lead even further. Save the big for last.
I saved the big for last?
Yeah. Okay. I'd start with interesting, in my opinion.
So let me read first the comment of Jackie Warfa. Thank you, my friend. I've watched Trezeguet, Higuain, and Mario. The bigger the game, the better they got. Dusan is the opposite. I can't believe after bad 4 years, some still think their hope the sooner we move on him, the better. I know Zaki since long. Zach is not a huge big fan of Dusan, and I kind of agree with him. No, I totally agree with him. When the moment starts to be tough, Dusan disappears. Um, does he have
Tucson
time?
is
I don't know
no,
if he still
he's
has time.
he's too emotional, and
Yeah.
also from what I know, um, in and around the summer there were some planned meetings with Ristic's agent, and after one meeting, Ristic said to, I think it was Comoli and Chiellini who did it because there was no Modesto yet. Yeah, don't bother calling me anymore. We're done. So Juventus, Comoli, in name of Juventus, was trying just to figure out a solution because there were some offers, but the offers also needed to satisfy Juventus. You have to be very straight. You have to satisfy Vlahovic's demands, Juventus' demands. Juventus made very clear that the offers didn't satisfy their demands. So they were looking for a solution along the line where they proposed a contract renewal, but he had to, not for 12 million. The number I heard was 6.5 plus bonus. And Ristage went all mayhem and it was very upset. He said, don't bother calling me anymore. We're done. So I can see Ristic, Vlahovic, Juventus coming back from that, especially not Comoli. The way that I have been talked about Comoli, I'd be very surprised if he goes back on his steps.
I think people get confused by the idea of Dusan Vlahovic. A 6'3", 200 something pound striker who can hit free kicks and all this stuff, and with the glamorous season he had at Fiorentina, and they get it confused with the actuality of Dusan Vlahovic, a player with his time at Juventus was good only a handful of times, such that and I feel really bad saying this because I don't dislike the player at all. But when he does something right, I'm almost surprised. And that's not a mark of a highest paid player on a Juventus team by double. That's just not. There's no future there.
Look, yesterday to me, not I don't want to blame Igua. I don't know. No, I don't want to blame Vlahovic, but he was the image of why I'm pissed off with the team. I said one thing: I don't like Spalletti or whatever. Until the end of the season, I will not blame Spalletti. I can criticize some choices, but I will not blame Spalletti. Not one time I will say it's because of Spalletti. You will not hear that from me. I will blame every single player. Every single player. Because what they did yesterday made me fear. I believe it's one of the first time I was pissed off that we won the game yesterday. Of course, I was happy that we won. But guys, how is it on earth possible that after 3 days, I'm not speaking about after an international break, after 3 days, there was no fatigue anymore. There was that will, there was that passion, there was that pressing, the people they could do a pass again. Okay, don't tell me that Brambilla, that I really appreciate and love, and I was really happy for him for his record of 100% wins in Serie A and that beautiful applause at the end of the game. But don't tell me that with one training session he changed the world. It's not because he played Cambias on the right side that suddenly he became a football player again. I didn't appreciate that. I really was furious because I said the words of Dusan after the game are great. Huh? Word by word, I co-signed them. But when you're saying we should look into the mirror, why couldn't you look into the mirror before Lazio? Why couldn't we look into the mirror before Como, before Verona, before Parma last year? Why couldn't we? Why couldn't we do that extra run, that extra mile? There are a few players that I really want to save from the last few weeks, months, because I heard all the beautiful stories of you. I was in USA. I was there. Great moment, fantastic moment of cohesion of the group, staying close to the coach, discovering that was a huge, big 5-star luxury retiro. Huh? I can tell you, they were really well there in USA. And then they come back, and after 4 games, Parma, Genoa, Inter, and that little push against Dortmund, it was over with the cohesion. And then we hear the bad things. I was absolutely not happy. So Dusan Vlahovic yesterday, and great performance and great words, but I need to see it with consistency because Dushan coming, disappearing. Oh, I'm using my switch less than he's doing these up and down performances. The interesting thing, and then we will go later towards the big thing, but the interesting thing, and I want to ask you before I read the message of Juan Mayo Web, is Spalletti apparently, from what I hear, it's interesting. I didn't say that it's wow. It's interesting. He already signed yesterday night, not today.
Oh yes. I I I think I said that in the Turin Giants chat as well.
Yeah, but
Let
if
me
you don't
check.
invite me, guys.
I'm sorry.
No,
I,
no, but okay. So,
I,
so we
I
found confirmation on that. That's good. That's
you
good.
you have to ask Farhad for that. I don't think I even have the rights to do that. I'm very very
No,
I'm
because we
truly
have
sorry.
another group of Turin Giants for
Yeah.
GJustjuve for this group with Farad. But apparently, I'm not welcome in the other group. It is what it is.
No, we have too many people, I think, already in the group, and it becomes sometimes a bit of chaotic, I feel. But
So
let
my
me
question
check.
is, why do we supporters reading the journalist think that he signed today when he arrived, and then also Fabrizio Romano said he signed now, it's 100%, while from what I hear, what I read here, and apparently confirmed also by Fred, it was already signed yesterday. And why didn't we know earlier today that he has been announced? So I have question. I'm not asking for the truth, and now it's just an opinion, huh?
No, 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 no. I think it's really strange because I got the message on Tuesday already at, I think, around 9 o'clock. And I actually said, and I'm going to quote myself in the group, he signed, "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Spalletti." And then Farad replied, "Can I make a post or something?" Yes, 1000% confirmed. So if that's true, then he already signed. It also could be that he signed like a contract. Huh? That's thing that happens a lot of the times when some details like staff or bonuses are still not discussed properly. They sign a pre-contract where they state that basically the following subjects need to be remanded in the contract to follow with appendix A, B, C, D, something like that. But I know for a fact that he signed on Tuesday officially. Shook hands
So
with Comoli, Modesto. So
on
why are
Tuesday,
we
on
on
Tuesday,
Tuesday?
I received this news. Wait, because I need to pay attention here what I'm doing. Uh, okay. I received this news on, can I do it bigger? Bah. On Tuesday, so the 28th of October at 4:39. So 4:39, a bit earlier, of course. uh, I received Spalletti. Punto. Done. Done deal. So you see here also the pigeon. That's Larry the bird. Larry the bird, the source that is telling me. So there I was convinced, but I didn't hear he signed or not signed. I just knew it was 1000%, and I wrote it. Indeed, I confirm it was Tuesday. Now the
Mhm.
signature apparently was the official signature was yesterday night already, which is curious because we didn't announce, and I don't know why.
Me neither, but I know there were some not issues, but things that needed to be sorted out with the physical coach as well. Because as you know, we have Mr. Darren Burgess in charge of everything that's fitness and form related. But Spalletti really wants, as his own fitness coach, to have what's his name, Sinati, I think, who we worked with in the past. And he's a very good physical coach because I read something about him. He really makes the players run and work and sweat
The
and
If you're looking at the history of the teams of Spalletti, they always had an impressive physical
Yeah.
condition. The only
Mhm.
thing that I'm a bit scared of is that our preparation has been done with fast and fury, and I don't want to blame Tudor too much about it because usually Tudor is also one that is carrying the physical condition.
Yeah.
So I don't want to now say, but Tudor was bad, 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 bad. But we know it, a particular season. But unfortunately, Spalletti is now jumping on a driving train. I don't
Mhm.
know how to say it. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so
It's
changing the
it's it's
preparation
very
today is
difficult.
difficult. The only
Difficult,
thing
very
that
difficult.
I hope is that Tudor prepared the team to grow in physical condition. Starting as a diesel motor, that would be extremely nice, but I cannot promise you that. You want the because it's a big one. Yeah, let's say the big one.
Let's go.
The big one, guys. The big one. The big one is that he said after the game of Udinese. After the game of Udinese, he said 6 points. It's nothing.
He's not wrong, though. He's not wrong in a vacuum. He's not wrong.
It's a big one.
Yeah, but if you look at and this is what I was thinking about too, especially after our podcast yesterday. I was thinking
You
about
want
if
me
you.
first to finish the sentence, Fred, so that
Oh,
then you can
sorry,
finish?
sorry,
Wait,
sorry.
6 points, nothing. But nothing is granted. The men, we cannot miss the men. Didn't say the players, the men. 6 points, nothing. But nothing is granted. We cannot miss the men. And that attitude that we see in the video today, that's what he's talking about.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's why I said 6 points in a vacuum is not a lot with as much season as we have ahead of us. But this in the interest of my Grim Reaper and Halloween theme stuff, I mean this team needs to exercise its demons because right now it has a lot of them, and I think it's in certain personalities in the locker room, maybe nudging Frederic with his news a little bit of some individuals who have been somewhat cancerous in the dressing room to lead to exactly what angered me too, Beppe. And we talked about it in the Turin Giants post game about how this team magically had the energy and the drive to all of a sudden play a cohesive 90 minutes when we haven't seen that in 9 games or 8 games prior. And that's it was really disappointing for me, but I think that's not gonna be acceptable anymore, not under Spalletti.
There was a funny thing that happened, which you don't see in the video. They also went to Magazzinieri, the how do you call the warehouse, something like that, where they have all the
Warehouse
kits and
employees.
all. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And he also met the ladies who clean up the dressing room, the towels, and this and that. And Spalletti was sweating a bit, and somebody handed him a towel and said, "You have to try these. They're also for the players. We'll hand them out once they start sweating when you're being a coach." It sounds really strange when I put it into English, but it was like they're gonna need it when you start to be a coach. And then Spalletti said, "Do you also have towels for blood? Because I'm going to make them spit up blood."
But
So
you know what I said, Fred and Zach? I said I like Palladino. Seriously, I think he will become a good coach.
Me too.
I don't
Yeah.
know up to what level the future will tell, but I think he's a good coach. He's also Juve school, even if it's not a big Juventino, but who cares? He played with us. He knows what Juve world represents, so he has some values. He showed it at Monza, also at Fiorentina. Look at Fiorentina today. Ciao, Zach. We had a beautiful discussion about that on WhatsApp the other day. But
What a disaster.
yeah, yeah, the worst start ever of Fiorentina the worst start ever of Fiorentina.
I did this.
But
It's because of me, Beppe. Sorry, but go ahead. Go ahead.
no, but thanks to you, no, because thanks to you, I'm happy. I want him to see going in Serie B. Mamma mia, you cannot even believe. But I'm extremely happy it's not Paladino because Palladino, with all the respect that I have for Palladino, today would have been seen more as the big brother, the
Yeah.
nice friend. At least that's what the perception. That doesn't mean that he would have been like that, but the perception of a group of the players would have been with Palladino, we can try some things. Which with Spalletti, they will absolutely not dare. Look at today, the relaxed atmosphere, tranquil. I was also pissed off with one thing when we won and we went under the Curva Sud, all smiles, happy, bravo. I said, you should be ashamed. You should
Yeah.
be ashamed.
Hmm.
You should be ashamed, not smiles and bravo, and we won the game. It's normal to win against Udinese. It should be totally normal. And we were actually we did 2-2. To me, we did 2-2 because
Yeah.
the- it's
89th minute.
there.
Hmm.
It's there.
Hmm.
The 2-2.
Hmm.
E ancora sto cazzo di Gregorio che non esce.
Frederick.
Io, if you look at, I'm going to, yeah, but like we talked about Di Gregorio, we talked about yesterday also the goal from Zaniolo, which I feel was not his fault, but he could have done better. He could have done better because
I said it
if
as well. I said it
if
as
you're
well.
a very good goalkeeper, you know that the only angle he can shoot it is going to be that. So you're prepared for that. You cover that angle. La Madonna.
My God. Jeez.
Ragazzi, it's been a pleasure.
Jeez.
Oh my God.
Oh my man! Nobody expected that one, huh?
It's I will literally have nightmares, Beppe. Tear it off.
Uh,
That's a
oh, yeah.
nice one.
It's Halloween,
Oh,
guys.
oh.
It's
No,
But
Halloween.
but
Halloween.
Beppe, about Palladino, I think he's going to be a really good coach, and I'm
no, we're talking about Di Gregorio. We're
no,
not
we
gonna stop.
no, we're gonna
No,
rehash
no,
your rant
no, no,
about Di
no. I'm not
Gregorio.
gonna rehash.
Okoye was good. Okoye was good.
Okoye
He was
has been
fantastic.
very good
He
for
goes
2
on that
seasons.
ball on the far post while Di Gregorio doesn't go.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
true.
Another keeper, Svilar. Svilar has been a very good goalkeeper
Stop.
for what 2-3 seasons
Best
now.
goalkeeper of Serie A since 2-3 seasons.
Yeah,
Since he
I
replaced
mean,
the other one there,
yeah,
Rui
but
Patricio.
yeah, but that's the kind of keeper I expect at Juve in terms of level. We don't have that, and we can talk about coaches, we can talk about management, but you also need to have the material. Huh? A lot of people on the internet now saying, "Oh, Spalletti's there, playtime's over, this player's not gonna play." Yeah, who are you gonna put there? I'm sorry, we lack alternatives. And it's fine if you tell Perin number 2 in January goodbye, but where are the alternatives?
It's because it's your birthday that we let you rehash your Di Gregorio grief, Frederic.
I'm sorry. Once every 24 hours,
Yeah.
my I have to spit out the venom about Di Gregorio. Sorry for that, Beppe. It's been very unfortunate, but I had to. It has to come out. I have to. Yeah, sorry, but I agree. Palladino will be a good coach. Maybe not Juve level, but he has the qualities to do so. But if we took Palladino on as our coach right now, I think it would be a very, very, very high gamble with a very short risk to reward percentage. And I think that's something we do not need now. I think we have somebody with experience, with a mentality, with history, because he's proven himself, and somebody's not afraid to tackle some of the players if they go out of line. He did it with Totti. He did it partially with Oshiman, I think, too. So he's not afraid to dictate his will, and even if there are superstars in the dressing room, which we do not have, I think, to tell them to f off. So
And we all know that Igor Tudor is a strong personality. He doesn't go into teams as sort of this limp-wristed, let's be friends personality. He goes in with strength, and then if things don't work out his way, he leaves. I mean, Tudor is a strong personality, and not even he could wring the necks of these players to get them in line. So you asking Palladino to come in would have been putting him, I think, in and the players and the team and all of us in a position to fail, which is not what it would not have been the right call. So I think down the in 10 years, who knows where his journey will take us. Sure, Palladino. I would love to see where his growth is in that time, but right now it would have been a disaster.
Yeah, I believe as well. I believe as well that would have been too much of a gamble. I heard about Xavi, guys. I tell you the truth, it would have been even worse. Even
Yeah.
worse. Except if you say, not that he's a bad coach or not, I don't care about that, but except if you say, bah, you know what, for the next 3 years, we don't care what we do. If we then give him time and do whatever you want. But I think it would have been extremely, extremely, extremely difficult to me, huh, guys.
Same.
So I don't know.
I
I
agree.
don't know. I think that Spalletti, and to me, to tell that it's not that evident because I have always been against it. But I say, today I feel
Infantino over here.
today I feel
Sorry, Beppe.
that at the end of the season, I will come
Uh,
out like that. I will come out like that, guys.
I hope so. I
I
hope
was really
so.
hoping you would just say today I feel that I'm Spalletti. Go
Today,
full on Fantino on us.
today I feel Spalletti.
And I think with that, gentlemen, I'll sign off.
But I am Zach. Indeed, you need to leave.
Yes, I need to go pick up my son. But always a pleasure, Beppe. Everyone in the chat, fantastic. Frederic,
Thanks,
Zach.
Zach.
We
love
see
you.
each
Happy
other.
birthday. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Ciao, Zach. I wanted to go towards the other thing because you told us that for certain players, attenzione. So it's a time for the certain players.
There's certain players. I'm not sure if I'm even doing a good thing by naming them.
You're not obliged.
Let's just say that there's a core group of players, possibly Italian players, that make it very hard in the dressing room. And what I mean is by making it very hard, not a rebellion or whatever. No, they're just stupid. They think they're world class players. They feel they need to be treated as world class players. So everybody else is below them. They should always start. They should always be prioritized. They should always have certain advantages and perks that others may not have. And that went pretty okay for a certain amount of time. But afterwards, for other people within the group, it started to become really, really annoying, really, really obvious. And uh, it kind of split the dressing room both ways. Now, when Tudor, and this is what my source tells me, when Tudor figured this out, and it was very early already, I think it was after the Parma game when the first complaints and things started to float about. Tudor tried to have a conversation with everybody involved, and that didn't end up well. That didn't end up well. It made the situation even a bit worse. And Tudor kind of fell out with certain people because of that mentality too, which resulted in those players rebelling against Tudor a bit, not saying because I read things like they didn't want to play for him. That's not true, but there was some the line of communication wasn't optimal. They didn't see eye to eye. So there were some things that didn't really work. And the fact that they tried to intervene as well with the decision of our next coach, too. Because I know for a fact and I can't show you, even if I could, I wouldn't. I have a screenshot of a player while he's contacting Chiellini, who's in Saudi Arabia. I have several screenshots of that player. I got that message. I said, "What is that?" And my source wrote to me, "This MFER is phoning Chiellini to sponsor Paladino." So a player from the dressing room after practice, not even 10 minutes after practice, while he was on his phone in the locker room, saw things, decided to call Chiellini. He was at an event at Saudi Arabia at that time, and he was talking about maybe it's good if we bring Paladino and for the young guys, help them develop, blah, 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 blah. I mean, if you have that in your dresser, imagine if you work in a factory. It's a different thing, I know, but imagine you go to the boss saying, "Hey boss, listen, I know the production line is doing this, but I think it's better for the whole factory if we switch the production line, we do it that way." If you do it once, the boss will tell you, "Please don't drink anymore before you come to work." If you do it twice, the boss will tell you, "Here, there's the door, please leave."
Look, you always have the right to have an opinion, to have preferences. Why not? You need to, I believe, to have the right to ask, to give your. You need wait. You need to deserve to give your opinion. At the moment, nobody deserves to give their opinion. So let's close it like that, and that's why I'm happy that it's Spalletti and not a Paladino. Paladino, with all the good ideas, with everything, would not have worked long. Maybe would have seen a beautiful start, like 4 or 5 games. It's always like that. Huh? It's new, it's beautiful, new ideas, and then as soon as some players would not have the minutes that they wanted, or the way that it would have been a drama.
I very much like the fact I wanted to touch on that Spalletti has a very short contract
Yeah,
because it's not automatical. Huh? It's not automatically renewed if because a lot of papers and media said if Spalletti makes top four, it will be no, 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 no. It's all on Juventus if they renew or not. Eh? There's an option that can be triggered by Juventus manually, so not automatically. That's one. And two, during negotiations, Spalletti basically said, "Hey, the duration, do what you like. The salary, do what you like. I'm here to prove myself. If I've proven myself, you wish to continue with me and I earned it, then I'm happy to. If
yeah,
not, then you have every right not to continue working with me." And I think that was the turning point also for Komoli in the
yeah, yeah,
conversation.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think that was something that really, really struck him because he didn't know Spalletti personally yet. Whether in the past within Italian football clubs, you know each other personally, or for one way or the other. So I think that was very, very indicative of how bad Spalletti wanted to become Juventus coach because I think he refused 4 or 5 clubs in the
Yeah, yeah,
last month. Huh?
yeah.
And not just small clubs who paid a lot of money in order
A
to have
lot
him.
of
Eh?
money. Yeah,
At
I agree.
66-year-old, if you can go and make, I don't know, I heard something about 7.5 to 8 million a year at 66 years old, guys. I mean, he made his money already, but if you can have that bonus of another, what is it, 15 to 20 million euros
No, no,
at
one that is
66.
entering like that with these conditions, with that contract, with that will, with that passion. Pay attention to the word passion. One that
Mhm.
says, um, "I'm ready also to," because he has more to lose than to win.
Yeah,
Today, with that
yeah,
short of a contract, with a longer contract, you could have said, "Yeah, on long term, maybe he's really can win something out of it."
yeah.
But with a short
Agreed.
term like that, he has more to. So that's someone that already received my respect. Then you will have to continue to show me. I totally forgot to say thank you to Juan to read his message, and also the one that is coming up from Zaki Warfa. Juan that said, "Ciao Beppe, I think that people making comparisons with Spalletti's Napoli are in the wrong track. We don't need him to find the Juve player for his old Napoli strategy. He needs to create his Juve." I hope that Juan is still there watching, because now we are answering. And I totally agree with that message. I don't think that Spalletti wants to recreate his Napoli or the winning Napoli, because if you're looking at the career that he had around Italy, just by watching a bit at, I did it this morning already, but for the people that didn't watch, if you're looking at the Roma team that he had back then, long time ago, it was a 4-3-3. It was a 4-2-3-1 with still Roma. It was a 4-4-2 with Roma. It was a 4-3-1-2 with Roma. If you're looking at Udinese, he played with a 3-4-3. He played with a 3-4-3. Again, he also played in his career with 3-5-2. He played with different styles. He has an idea in mind. What I heard, he would love to go towards a four-man defense. Let's see when. I don't know if he will start immediately and pushing it or not. Let's see. But that doesn't mean that he will stick with it. He's really quite flexible with that. And he knows, he's still there, Juan. He absolutely is aware that he doesn't want to replicate Napoli. That would be totally crazy, because Napoli comes from a way of playing even before him, that played with that kind of style,
Yeah.
and then he implemented his idea. We are not that team. Absolutely
No,
not. Then,
and
but why?
he almost never copy pastes. If
No,
you look at, because there is some similarity in how we take like Roma 2.0, 2.0, 2.0, la Madonna, and Napoli, there are similarities, but there were similar players in that team. So I could see what people think. Oh, Spalletti always does a copy paste thing, but it's not true.
no,
What he does copy paste, and the thing that I like is that he makes players that are not seen as superstars or great potentials, makes them a lot better.
yeah,
So I don't think he's going to make Kenan Yildiz a lot more better. No, Kenan knows how to play. Kenan knows his potential. He'll maybe tweak a bit here and there regarding his position, regarding some decisions that he could make better, also because of his age. But the players that we have now, who are, for me, mediocre, he can make them a lot better. If you see what he did in the past with certain players, I forgot Lobotka, for instance.
yeah.
Lobotka pre-Spalletti, you wouldn't even trust him to, take out the garbage. And after the Spalletti, he was, I think, 10 times the player he was in comparison.
Yeah.
Um,
Now, if Juan is speaking about not the coach but the supporters, yeah, we need to pay attention. If you expect that after, like, let's not even speak about Cremonese, but if you expect already that we will start playing like that after 3-4 games, forget about it, because that's absolutely not what he
no,
will do. Then if we
no,
will start to play one day, maybe, I don't know, but that, stop looking at the highlight and skills from his Roma tenure and Napoli tenure, because this is not what we will become tomorrow. Uh,
no,
no, I, I
no,
I agree with Juan on that. Zach is writing, Beppe, thank you, my friend. Beppe, one thing worrying this season so far is, unlike last season, not many top teams are dropping points, and a lot of teams are winning and competing. I see still. Look, nobody is in all in. I remember a season where, who was it? It was like three teams that were, I think it was two teams with a 10 on 10. Was it Napoli and Milan on a 10 on 10? And then right behind it was Udinese. Then Udinese flopped. But
yeah,
I,
could be.
I saw some start of season with people, with teams that had like 30 on 30 points available. So here we already have Inter that lost two games, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah,
Uh, Napoli has 21 on how many available points on 20,
uh,
28, on
28,
28,
yeah,
on
28.
28 available points. So they are losing teams. Then, of course, I see a Roma, and that's worrying. That is still not in the Gasperini touch era at 100%. That is winning dirty games, even with a one goal margin. That's worrying, because when they will reach, if they reach the full form, they can be extremely dangerous. So I hate these dirty wins of Gasperini at the moment.
Yeah, I expected them to drop a lot more points because Gasperini takes time to settle in, takes time for the players to get used to his system, the way of training, especially because he has a very strange training style. I don't know if you know, like it's one day, two training sets on that day, then the next day, one training set, day behind another two. Something really strange. So I thought they dropped points, especially with. I thought Dybala would be less important than he is now, but Dybala stepping up, so it gives him automatically an advantage. But give Spalletti a bit of time. I'm not saying give him till the end of the season because in the season we need to be top four, over and done with, non-negotiable. Top four is the minimum, bare result minimum that we need to have. But I think if you let Spalletti without any pressure, let him work until the winter break. There isn't really a break, but let's say we have some breaks, and he has some input on the transfer window. I think we could see some magic in January, and that's the most important time for me.
Well,
January until March is when you gain your most valuable points of the season. That's my opinion. The pre-Christmas era is not as important as after for me.
hmm. I said to be able to give a first fair judgment on Spalletti, not about the team, not about the ambitions, but a fair judgment 12 games. So until the end of 2025, 12 games. Then we can say Spalletti. Before that, it's too early to start. Spalletti is good, not good at Juve. It's too early. Then, of course, we will understand really fast if we can, yes or no, compete for top four, for top three, for top two, maybe something else like Spalletti apparently said. That's what I heard. So I'm really, really, really curious. Really curious. I'm
We
trying to.
missed a question from Hussein La Juve, and he asked, and I have no idea, so I'm highlighting this for you, Beppe. Who will be our captain with Spalletti? Did you
I
hear
think
anything about that, or
no, I didn't hear anything about that. What I think he will do, but I don't know if it's the reality or not. What I think he will do, I think that he will go to Loca and say, Buongiorno, mi chiamo Luciano Spalletti, like he never met him before. Like, I'm Luciano Spalletti. Good morning. You are the captain of Juve. You have an ambition because you are a Juventino. I have the same exact ambition is to bring Juve again. Juve. You're the captain of the team. I am the coach of this team. We have the same ambition. What happened in the past with La Nazionale, etc., is the past. We were together. So we start clean sheet. Of course, we don't have any time to lose because we already lost uh, too long, too much. So then it depends on you. Today, Thursday, the 30th of December, you are captain, you are the starter. We first met. After Cremonese, we will see. But what I'm expecting from you is not only as a player to play faster with that. It's this, of course, but I'm also expecting off the field something. And that's what I told you. We cannot miss the men. So
I'm very. I think nobody knows how the relationship between Spalletti and Luca is because we read a lot of things, we see a lot of things. I don't feel that it's a good relationship, huh? And
no,
let's
no,
be
it
honest here,
started
it's
with
not.
the technical choice. It started
Yeah.
with the technical choice that Locatelli didn't appreciate at all. Right or wrong, he didn't appreciate. I can understand because I remember really well the first time that he was not called up by Mancini, not Spalletti, Mancini. I had an interview with him. He was not happy at all because he really cares about the Nazionale. It's something extremely important for him. He was absolutely not happy. It touched him a lot. Then he was happy that the Spalletti was there because it was new, etc., etc. And when it didn't happen for technical choice, he didn't like it. I believe that technical choice transformed himself then in a personal battle. um, Spalletti is not now a saint. It's difficult. Look at what happened with Acerbi. Look at what happened with a lot of players. Well, a lot of people don't know, but Totti is like the Colosseum in Roma. He
Yeah,
put him on the bench. He put him on the
yeah,
bench, and when he was doing well, when Totti was saving the ass of Spalletti, Spalletti was never giving credit to Totti. He was giving credit to the team, to Pizarro, to other players, never to Totti. So he didn't treat him well, Totti. I'm not a big fan of Totti as a person, so I don't care. But that's a reality. Icardi, Insigne, Osimhen fight before Osimhen fought back and became the best scorer of the league. So I think that it's an ego problem, a personality problem from both sides now. Now they work together. I tell you, we don't have, we are not in La Nazionale. So we don't have like 10 players that are waiting. So in the interest of everyone, it's better to start with a clean sheet. Will he do it or not? I don't know. To answer an interesting question, then I let you speak. This question. Uh, we are expecting Spalletti to wake up our team, but he couldn't wake up the Azzurri, and then we need Gattuso to do that. Why are we sure? I'm not sure of anything. I'm not sure of anything. I speak about intentions, but it's not entirely true because when Spalletti comes in, he does actually quite well with La Nazionale in the beginning. And then he loses himself. For what reason? I believe that Spalletti felt probably king on earth. One, after that Scudetto in Napoli. Guys, you don't know what it is to win a Scudetto in Napoli, and you don't know what it is to win it after 33 years. It's something that even the
it's like
person
Juve winning
without
the Champions
emotion,
League.
it's bigger than winning the Champions League, I
Yeah,
believe.
yeah,
Winning a Scudetto after 33 years in Napoli is bigger than winning the Champions
yeah.
League. Okay, you become a saint, guys. You become a saint, and I believe he taught also to become God on earth, and also La Nazionale or becoming a national team coach is not the same job as a club
No, no,
coach.
no, no,
Spalletti
no,
is a
no.
club coach, not a Nazionale. I was totally against La Nazionale for Spalletti, and I was on that one right. But look at Montella. Montella is a disaster coach. A disaster coach. With every club that he went to, he failed. Look at what he's doing with Turkey. He's
Yeah.
doing well. It's a
The,
different
the
job.
the national team manager is a man management job. It's not about so much about tactics, roles, set plays, how you practice them, how you develop players. No, you start from we have developed players that I call up and I talk with them. I make them feel as a group because you win more with a national team if you have a very strong group. The
Yeah.
individual skills don't matter. Because if it were for that, Belgium should have had 4 World Cups already. Quality wise.
Four is maybe a bit too much, but
Okay, let's go for two. At least two. The golden generation should have had two. At least one. But you know what I'm saying? Italy 2006 was a lot of quality in that group. But the thing that made them win was the group sentiment. Because you had Lippi, a father figure, a man who wintered the storms, a man who was uh, s-
that sense of revenge
strict
as
and
well of what happened with Juve at that time in the summer. They didn't even
yeah,
know if they would have played in Serie
no,
A, B,
no,
C. They didn't know. And I repeat you for people because some people they didn't go through that, but you know that they asked Lippi to not be the coach. You know that they asked Cannavaro to not go to the World Cup back then.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
They wanted Juve players to be
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and that sense of revenge to show helped a lot, huh? People
yeah,
forget about that, but it helped a lot.
yeah, yeah. So that's where it's different. Also, I feel that's just my humble opinion, and there's no way any truth. But I feel that if you work with a coach daily, in the sense of you see him every morning, he sees your progress, you also have the chance to develop yourself as a person, especially for a younger player. If you have a father figure in the dressing room who's your coach, and you go through things that we all go through at a certain point in our lives, but you have nobody to talk about that, and you don't have a person of trust you can, and you have that feeling with a coach, because sometimes it happens, you're together a lot of the time, and you can open up. It makes you grow as a player, but also as a person, and that reflects on the team as well, because that's somebody, if you have a very good bond with, you're ready to go to war for. With the national team, it's a bit more different. You're more mature. You come in, what is it, a week? You go out again. Hey, see you in 3 months. Your coach comes in the stands to look at your club game to see how you're doing. That's about it. The human interaction is a bit lost there. And Spalletti is somebody who drives on that. He needs that social engagement, that knowing what his players are eating, sleeping, drinking, doing. He's very, very, very strict on that. So I wouldn't, compare La Nazionale with a club job as coach.
Uh, you want to add something more? Or is there a question that we didn't answer on the topic, so that we are going towards rounding up and ending the live
I
of
wanted
today?
I wanted one question from
I
I
have
wanted
I
to
have
ask
still one
you.
thing to say, an announcement after
Okay,
Fred. After Fred.
okay. One question maybe for the chat as well, but I was interested to hear your opinion. If you could sign one player in January, Pepe,
In January.
in January, yeah? You have to come in middle of the season. If you can sign one player to make a difference, you don't even have to give me the name, but where and what position would you sign that player? What is
So
the position that we're lacking the most?
it's extremely difficult because I have no idea how he will play. If
Hmm.
we have the intention to play with four-man defense and maybe 4-3-3, I will tell you we need a strong midfielder. Priority. If you tell me we play a 4-4-2, I will tell you we miss something on the right side of the field. If he wants to go towards 3-4-3, I don't know. I really don't know. But if the intention, what I heard, is to be with four in the back, three in the middle, I tell you a midfielder, because then you don't rely that much anymore about your right and left wing back. Then if you play that 3-5-2 or that 3-4 whatever, then you need wing backs, because we are not good there. I appreciated the game of Kostic. I think that we spoke a lot about it, that I wanted to push Kostic since a few weeks. I don't know if I did it with you
I
guys.
was thinking about that when I saw the starting lineups yesterday.
He did well, huh? He did
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
It's
yeah, he
not
did
a
really well.
phenomenon, but he did well yesterday.
No,
You know why? Because he's doing the normal things.
yeah, and also it helps if you put players in their natural positions. Let's be honest here.
Yeah,
It's sometimes not rocket science, huh? You have a left wing back, put him in left wing. E basta. Eh,
it's true. It's true.
yeah.
Um, but I tell you a player that I think that I already wanted, but I think would be ideal in the summer for him, is a Stiller.
Hmm. Yeah.
He has a release clause of 36. Of course, the big, huge clubs with an unlimited budget will go for him. If you are looking for a Spalletti player, Stiller would be perfect. Uh,
I feel, and I think they share our opinion. I think for me, they can put Stiller, Boadi, and Bernardo Silva, the names in a bag. Pick whoever you want. I'm happy. If I get one of those three in this Juventus, in this midfield, jackpot. For me, huh? Then it depends on one, do they want to come? What's the price? What's the transfer fee? What's the salary? What's the, I don't know. But for me, Stiller is somebody we should have gone for in the summer. Doesn't matter if you know who the coach is. Stiller is somebody you can put in every team and he will make an impact. For me, Bernardo Silva, I talked about that numerous times. There have been some contacts, but it's difficult now, huh? Comoli has a lot on his mind. Let's hope the sporting director comes soon. I think next week we'll have him, and then
Ottolini, eh?
Comoli.
Attenzione to the name of Ottolini that
Yeah,
is a candidate. Huh? It's not a done deal, but it's a candidate.
he's been released by Genoa.
Mm.
The contract was contract is
But last news from Nikos Kira is that the talks are in progress between Genoa and the sporting director Marco Ottolini for the termination of the contract with mutual consent. So, if it's
Mhm.
not already official, it will happen soon. Ottolini, Ottolini. I need to do it like that.
What
Oh,
do you
what
feel about Ottolini?
I don't know. I don't know.
We're gonna talk about Ottolini
We
when it's
should do that. Look, this is for I don't know the bad news, and this one is for the good news. I need to pay attention which one we should go for. We need to
yeah.
ask the chat.
I like them both, by the way. I like them
Uh,
both. You had an announcement. Sorry.
yeah, it's too close. Yeah, an announcement that you go on the Juve site. Let me show you. You go on the Juve site, and then you need to scroll down. Wait, here. Okay, so on the Juve site, you scroll down where you have all the articles, and then you will see here Juventus live shopping. You click on it, you will be redirected, and it's written in Italian. But if you go to the English version, it's written in English. Where it's let me go to the English one so that we can read it also for everyone. So if you go to the juventus.com/en, what is happening here? Ah, yeah. You see it here. Juventus live shopping, an exclusive experience, a night dedicated to true fans on November the 5th, so the day after the Champions League, from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Enjoy the first official Juventus live shopping event powered by Adidas and Fanatics. During the live event, you will find some exclusive content, surprises, gifts, and special offers available only to those who are joining the streams. It starts in 5 days, 18 hours, 58 minutes, blah, blah. Your name, your surname, email address, and you register. It's totally for free. I think that I can already spoil it, that I will be the host of that live shopping experience. So that's also why I'm going
Nice.
first to Torino before going to Miami. So I will be there. I already had a lot of briefings about. Of course, I will not spoil everything, but it will be fun. It will be nice. I need also all your support because it would be nice. Um, that we see a lot of activities in the stream, because there are nice things that we will speak about, some exclusive content. I cannot spoil. I would love to spoil, but I cannot spoil. But that would be nice. So it's totally for free. You register, and you have some nice event. Do it, guys.
Nice. I'll be there.
Where, in Torino or in the
No,
live?
virtual. Sorry.
So it's nice. So don't forget to do it, ragazzi. I enjoyed it. I saw a much more positive Frederic. When he was negative on the other side, we were losing. So now that we have a positive Frederic, maybe we can win. You want to go with a prediction? Cremonese Juve, or it's early because change of coach, or you want to go in whatever?
No, I want to go with the prediction. I say 1-3. Hey, attenzione! I my 0 for 9 also came true. When I said that we were going to get 0 points, remember, out of Lazio
True,
and
true. It's true. You
I
said that.
I hope I hope this time I'm right as well. Would be nice for Spalletti to start with a good convincing win. I'm curious now. Is it good Beppe or bad Beppe?
I don't have the feeling yet because I need to feel Spalletti, but I don't want to hide. I don't want to hide. We will concede from a set piece. That I can already tell you.
Già,
That's written.
tanto.
That's written. Dai, 1-2.
1-2. Nice.
1-2. I see
I
a
thi
victory as well.
Yeah.
But a
I
tough
think
one. A
it's
difficult one.
a very difficult one. Very difficult one. Lloyd Kelly hat trick, yeah, could happen. Not even in training, but okay. I see that the chat is also very positive.
The chat is positive now because we changed the coach. I don't know if they ever watched Cremonese. If I asked the chat what is the color of the shirt of Cremonese, I know they don't know. No, it's vibes. We go with vibes.
We go with
Cremonese. Who
vibes.
cares? Die. We win. Spalletti, the goat. No, no. Bravo, bravo, Grigio Rossi.
So,
People are laughing in the chat. Great. They know. You see, they say Beppe. We know. Blue and red. Yeah, it's like
great,
gold,
great.
white and gold,
Yeah.
like the dress, like the famous dress. Thank you to Frederic. Thank you also to Zach, Super Zach, that needed to leave.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Happy birthday again, Fred. I wish you really
Thank
the
you
best.
so much. Thank you, chat.
An
Also,
entire year of victories.
let's hope. I'm not gonna
Ciao,
count on
chat.
it, but ciao ciao ragazzi.